Hi, welcome to Chosen One Chosen World, and my guest, Coach Lawana Kelly.
Hi.
Um, yes, this is a show that wasn't scheduled, and I thought that I had to do uh, this show because of my feelings and how I was feeling and the things and what I'm going through, and I thought I wanted to share it so other people can learn from it and not be able to have to go through what I'm going through. Um, I don't. There's no really way to say it, but I've lost two childs. I lost two kids, one last year, and I just lost another kid 2 weeks ago. It's extremely painful. I'm not okay. Um, I'm not okay at all. I'm dealing with my mental. Um, and this is the reason why I'm coming on because it's going to help me also, because, you keep things bottled up, and it takes you to another place. So it's best that you always express yourself or let somebody know how you feel so you'll be able to, release that. Um, the description says that, in terms of, in my time of need, in my urgent care, you know,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
that,
It's about to read it. There you go. Yeah. Go ahead, Rick.
yeah, in my dire need, in my darkest moment, where are you? You said if I need anything to call, but what if I don't have the strength to call? And I mean strength to call, meaning that I have so much emotions and things that's going on, and I don't have that ability to call. Maybe not even one or two people. The expectation of when somebody is going through dark times or tragic situations, such as what I'm going through, you expect for people to reach out to you. You know, it's been 2 weeks since my son been gone. I have not seen one person at my door. I'm gonna say it again. It's been 2 weeks since my son has passed. I have not seen one person at my door. Now, let me walk this back. Let me walk it back. Because I'm gonna give people credit when it's due because I love honoring people. Even in my darkest moments, I still honor people. But I'm gonna give honor to my best friend because when he found out that my son had passed, he told me, he said, this is not a situation where I call you. This is a situation where I have to pull up on you. This is not one of those situations. I need to see you. That is a true friend. That is a true person that loves you, that care about me, that's really concerned about my mental. I've lost two kids back to back. If you've never been through it, you never ever want to go through it. It's sad, it's angry, you're lost. Uh, you're always lost. All day, you're lost. You're confused. Both situations were super sudden. I had no warning at all. It just happened. And it took a shock through my soul. It took my soul.
Mm.
And the thing about it is, when you're going through your darkest moments, your tragedy, such as something like that, you need people. I'm gonna be real. You need people. You know what I'm saying? As strong as I am, I still need somebody. But let me tell you guys something. I prayed, I prayed, I prayed. I asked God a lot of questions. I didn't question God. Let me just be clear. I didn't question God. I asked him a lot of questions. And he didn't
There's a
answer.
difference.
He didn't answer all the questions, but he gave me some clarification on some things.
There's a difference.
And one of the things, I've been through so much. And he said, you are the chosen one. See, the thing about it is everybody want the things that you want. Everybody want to do the things that you do, but they don't want to do the calling that come with it.
Not willing to go through what you've been through to have what you have.
I mean, but let me tell you guys on real though. I love my kids so much. You'll do anything for them. I hurt so bad. You know. I hurt so bad. But you know what? I tell y'all something. If I had to do this all over again and doing it for the Lord, I would sacrifice him again. As hard as it is for me to say that, but whatever God's will is his will. It hurts me to my heart, but I can't change it. But whatever God's will is his will. It hurts so bad.
It's good to have support as well. Support and love, people pouring into you, people loving on you, embracing you, other than what's inside your home. Because the people that's here with you love you. We standing with you. Your wife, I'm encouraging you. I'm speaking life into you. Babe, I want you to, I know it's hard to be strong. But, I understand you said you want love outside the home, your family, like the elders and people to pour in you. And it's like, where is everybody at? And then they say, well, um, if you need anything, call me. And then when you call and need something, everybody come up with an excuse.
But
and that's hurtful.
It's hurtful. And like I said, I wanted to really express myself and my feelings and how I felt, because I know I'm not going to be the only one to go through this. I'm not.
And there's people going through it now.
And it's people, absolutely. It's people going through it now, and they don't know where to turn or what to do. But I tell you this, I get my strength from the Lord, and one thing to do, it's okay to be by yourself, because that's where your strength comes. When you by yourself and you got the Lord with you, you build strength. So I just want to say too, like people tell you to reach out to them and things like that. You don't give a person that's going through trauma, you don't allow them to reach out to you.
You reach out to them.
You reach out to them. You don't let a person ask you or have to ask you for anything. You either offer it or you just give it to them. Because when people in their worst moments, they hate to ask for anything. And it's really humiliating to ask somebody for something when they actually can see the pain and the trauma that you're going through. And one thing, and I want to be clear, I don't ask anybody for no money. I've never asked anybody for anything in my life. No money. I did this on my own, and I'm proud of it. But the only thing I asked you is for your love.
Sincere love, because love is an action word.
Sincere love.
It's an action word.
Yes. So when people, like for what I done been through, I think I should be somewhere in somebody's crazy house. I should be dead and things like that. But God is keeping me, because it's not easy losing a child, let alone losing two back to back. I haven't even processed my first daughter's death. I haven't even been out to the cemetery. And then this again. And I just pray to God that he keep me covered. And I'm leaning on his understanding. But most importantly, too, people that has DNA associated with me. And I say DNA, family, it has to be proven. Even like being a friend, somebody had to prove to you that you're your friend. And then they prove to you that they are best friend, because they go over and beyond. When you call them, they're there. If it's late night, they picking the phone up. And they're not going to just call you late night just for nothing. Something's going on. And when they see that number at 12 o'clock at night, they're going to grab that phone because they know something is wrong. Those are friends. And then that's family too. And I think, and I'm going to go back to my situation, because I can only base my situation off of mine. Like I said, I haven't heard from nobody since my son passed. Nobody has pulled up at this door. Nobody. I don't know who y'all think I am. Maybe how strong I am. I don't know. I serve the same God you serve. I get weak. I get weary. I still believe. I still have faith. But I need true love. I don't need somebody to tell me they love me and then that's it. and then you let the person go.
I'm praying for you. You don't hear from them no more.
Or
I'm
they,
praying for you.
or what's common is, you express yourself, to the people, and I have more Facebook friends that reach out to me because they may not even be in the state, that reach out to me and things like that, and support me, mentally and things like that, versus people that have the same DNA. I spoke about family a while back, but God just giving me clarification. You know, I am chosen, and I can deal with just about anything, but this situation here is unprecedented.
It's like family. You're not family when you're in need. You're only family when you're not in need. Is that how it works? Or is that how you feel?
It appears that way. Like I said, it's not that you need anybody financially, you know, but just love, people embracing you in your worstest and in your darkest moment, you know, and just being there. And I came up in dark moments, so I was built for this moment. But you still, no matter how you built, you still need love, you know. And I know my wife, she gives me all the love, far as that point of view. But then you have a separate part where you need love at.
You need to feel it and hear it from someone outside the house. Because see, I
Absolutely.
smother you with love, but you need somebody else that can give you love without smothering.
Yeah,
You need somebody to talk to you, speak
absolutely.
in your life, and encourage you as well.
Yes,
Because you'll do the same for others.
yes. I mean, your character is everything, and your actions are everything. And you can't tell somebody something without showing them. You know what I mean? And they're not going to forget, like, good moments, happy moments that you share with people. You don't forget. Bad moments that you share with people, you don't forget. So whatever your actions was, they won't be forgotten. You know, I'm very disappointed in the DNA people that associate with me.
Attached to you.
They not attached,
Oh, well, yeah.
associated with me. I'm very disappointed. But I forgive you, you know, because that's who I am. I forgive you for, not embracing me in my darkest moment. You know, I haven't even put my son in the ground yet. I'm still dealing with that. I have my phone haven't rang in 3 days. Nobody pulled up ever but one person. And I just wanted to acknowledge that, because not just for myself too. I think, like I said, other people may be going through something similar to what I'm going through. And if you see yourself going down that road where you're not supporting somebody that you love in their darkest
Or
moment,
have a friend or a family member that's going through.
even any of those circumstances that they need you to be able to pull up on them or show up and support them, because the mental health is so real. It is absolutely imperative. I don't care who you are, what you do, how much money you got, that mental is everything. And everybody can have a breakdown. You can only take so much, and you need people's support. And I think that it's, like I said, it's just really disappointing. And I just wanted to say that because I want to bring you guys awareness up to where, like I said, if you can, somebody is going through something, whoever it may be, you attach yourself to them, you call them. Don't wait on them to call you if they're going through. And then if you love them. But if you don't have any attachment, let me just tell you this. If I hurt, if I hurt, and you attach to me, you're going to hurt too.
I feel it, baby.
But if you're not attached to me, you're not going to feel absolutely nothing.
No pain.
There's no nerve thing. You're actually paralyzed to me on that side because you feel nothing. But if you're attached to me and you say that you're attached to me, you should feel me. You should feel some of this pain, but you won't feel all of it. You will feel enough pain to say, well, I need to see him. And I'm gonna tell you this: I had went to the doctor yesterday, and my doctor had found out, my son had passed, and I was just overwhelmed with him. He immediately broke down and he grabbed me and hugged me, and he said, "I'm going against COVID protocol because I need to hold you." I didn't ask him to hold me. He said that I'm breaking COVID protocol because I'm going to hug you. And I felt so good.
That man turned red and broke down crying.
I mean, I felt so good. And he wasn't attached to me.
A stranger.
And it's like, you're not getting those hugs like that. People are not caring for you in your darkest moment. People are committing suicide. They out here doing any and everything. And you just don't know what you can do to change that.
Your hug, you showing up for a person it mean the world.
It can change.
It can change a way a person thinking
and the way they
because
feel.
It take a village to uphold someone. I ain't gonna say village for a child, but to uphold someone. So in other words, his wife just can't do it alone. Yes. He want love and outpour from family, people to embrace him, let him know that you are there, and don't let it be just a one phone call or one show up.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm just going to tell you my story, and like I said, I have more to come. I've been through so much, and I just want you guys to stay tuned in. This is not a negative thing. I'm just telling you the experience that I had. So if you're experiencing this, if you need to reach out to somebody that you love and they're going through something, do that, because it's hard for them to reach out to you because they're going through so much, and the way the world is now is just so bad, and so many things that's going on in the world. We need each other. We need that love. We have to stick, with each other during these tough times. And I just wanted to say that, I needed people to show up for me, and they didn't. Nobody showed up but one person. I shouldn't have to ask you to come over to see me, to comfort me. When you hear something like that, that's an immediate 911 show up.
Emergency.
That's like you dialing 911 and the operator said they're on the way. Where in this case, they weren't on the way. I'm very hurt by it. I'm saddened. But I'm going to say it again. I forgive everyone for that. I think it's a learning experience. I think I am chosen. I think I have to go through these things to be able to let people know. I have to endure it, and then I have to get over it, and I have to move on because there's other issues that has to be addressed. I have to, like I said, I have to put my son in the ground. I have to get past that, and then I still have to serve people even in the process of this. They say, why do you have to speak to people that won't speak back to you? Why you have to love people that won't love you back? It's hard. It really is. But when you do the hard things, it pay off. It may not pay off from them, the people that won't speak back, the ones that won't love you back, even in spite of you loving them and forgiving them, and they won't forgive you for nothing. God will bless you. He would use other people. He would even use things, and he would turn it around in your favor. I'm a witness. So even in this situation where I not had nobody come over to see me, to comfort me, and you get tired of losses. I mean, I've lost mom, dad, sister, brother, all aunties and uncles, and now my kids.
And the hurt is different. I hear when it comes down to your kid. The hurt is different.
I mean, you just numb. You're so numb. And I think from my experience, when I'm dealing with, you want to stay numb. That's why people use drugs and alcohol to do what?
Stay now.
To numb. So I'm numb, and I have a natural numbness. And this is what people try to do. They numb themselves, and they numb themselves from the pain and from just being outcast and things like that. So I'm a natural numb because I don't drink or drug, but you want to get out of this numbness. So it's like, losing your kids. You're so numb. It's like you can't move. You're in a cocoon and there's nothing you can do. So you're in a situation when there's nothing you can do. You're hopeless. And that's the situation I'm in.
May I ask a question? What would you speak to people that's viewing or will see this video that is going through what you're going through, have experienced it so many times, one time, two times, three times, five times? What would you speak into their life, and what would you tell them to do to lean on and where to get their strength? Because you're not the only one that feel alone and by yourself in your situation. And there's a lot of other people that fell deeply into mental health because this is all they wanted. Absolutely. Was love and strength from friends and family. Yes. So what would you say to them to encourage them?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I'm only going to speak for me. Okay, guys, I'm telling you what I'm feeling and what I'm going through. I've been praying day and night, day and night, day and night. And those are one of the things that you do. That's the first thing you do. Pray, pray, pray. Have faith in God. And then as I'm praying, God give me an answer. And it's only the answer that I got is only so much time to grieve. He said, you only have so much time to grieve. And I'm like, are you kidding me? What do you mean? I got so much time to grieve. What do you mean? You got so much time to grieve. You only got a certain amount of time to grieve, and then you have to move on. And I kind of studied that, and I'm like, and I'm not questioning God. I started looking at things, and ironically, I'm looking at something, and something came out of the wild that I was looking at, and it was an elephant that came up. And when the elephant cub was attacked by the lion, the elephant was trying to root off the lion, but it already had damaged the cub. It damaged the cub to where it couldn't even get up anymore. So the mama elephant is struggling with the lions to keep the lions off the cub. And I'm watching this, and it's kind of blowing my mind. And the mother elephant is staying there for a long time. And then the lions, what happens with the lions, they're sitting down, and now they're waiting. So the mother elephant, as hard as it was for her, she had to lead the cub. She cried and she did her tucks and she was swinging it and kicking it. But eventually she had to leave her cub. It was only so long that she could stay there to where she had to leave. And it hurted her so bad. And it's the same in the human form. We have that certain amount of time to grieve because you can't keep grieving because it would tear you apart.
You can't stay stuck.
You can't stay there. Now you have to start trying to wing yourself off. And you're like, how can I wing myself off? And I done lost 2 kids. Well, it's not easy. Even anything in life that you're trying to achieve, you got to put in work. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to tell you there's some magic pill you take and it happens. But you give yourself time enough to grieve, and then you start coming out of it. You start serving if you're not serving already. You start being kind to people. You start showing up, as I was saying, for people in their time of need. And when you start doing that, you're taking the attention off of the grieving process, because now what you've done, you release that person. You actually release them and say, I love you. I'm going to release you. And I'm going to let God have you, because I can no longer hold you, because with me holding you, it's hurting me. But when I let you go and let God have you, I felt a sense of relief. Mm-hmm. And it's a time frame in that. and you have to give it time, and it do take time. I don't know how much time did it take, but it takes time, and you have to give grieving time, and you can't stay there because you would destroy yourself in that process. And it's been a year since my daughter had passed, and I haven't got over that. I haven't even been out to the cemetery, but the time is still there. And then my son just passed, so I hadn't even got through that grieving process there, and the time clock is still ticking. And I'm like, why, God? Why did this happen? I'm still trying to get out of this grieving process. I know it's a time limit in this, but now I have another tragedy. My son, he says it's a time limit on that too. There's a time limit on that too. Because see, when you call to serve and do God's will, there's nothing you could do about it. You have to serve God, even in the midst of your tragedy. It's hard. But see, everybody want to be you and do the things that you do, but they don't want to go through the things that you go through. I would never really want to be in this position to talk about my kids leaving here. And the thing too with that, they say, as parents, we're supposed to go before the kids, right? As I say, we're supposed to go before the kids. But I looked in the Bible. It didn't say that in there. That wasn't written. Mm-hmm. I looked front, back, middle, side, went through the Bible, and I tried to find that. And I said, Lord, where's this promise at that, the kids don't supposed to go before you? What's going on, Lord? I had 2 kids just went before me. Is this a promise in here? Because if you written it, you went back on your word, and you're not a God to go back on your word. And I went through there.
He didn't promise that.
He didn't promise that. So God can't promise you that your kids is going to outlast you. So God will prepare you for even if a situation occur like that. He will prepare you for it so you don't lose your mind in the midst of it. And one of the things is that I don't think nobody, I'm not going to say think, nobody here is better than God's child, Jesus Christ, because he gave his son for us. So what make you think that we can't sacrifice our son, or when our sons or daughters leave, that they were better than Jesus? Not to say that it's not going to hurt or anything. I think God put me in this position to educate people off of my situation, to even whatever situation you may be going through. Never give up faith in God, even in a tragedy, even in your darkest moments. Don't lose focus on God. He's still God when it's good, and he's still God
when it's bad,
when it's tragedy.
Yes.
He's still God. So we're not going to say that he's not God even in the midst of this. He's still God. Absolutely. I still give him the glory. I still praise him and lift him up, and I magnify his name.
But that's strength. That's, you're showing strength there.
Well,
you even though you said, baby, I am being strong on the outside, I'm showing my strength, but you say you too up hurt on the inside.
Yes.
And we just got to pray that God healed the inside, because you're looking good on the outside.
And that's one of the things that,
you don't look like what you're going through. That's what I want to say. You
don't want to judge people on how they look. But that's the thing about, like, when you're out there in the world and you run into people, you have no clue of what they're dealing with. And then when a situation escalate into, a bad situation, you don't know what this person is dealing with. So we're not mindful of anybody could be going through anything at any given time. And we need to be courteous to people, and we need to love on people, while we're out, because there's so much things that's going on in the world. And we just want to be
Tomorrow is
mindful of
not
that
promised at all to nobody.
today.
Today ain't promised.
Yes,
Tomorrow's
and
not
we have to
promised.
just value love. We have to value each other, because I've seen so much death so close to me. I've seen death for myself almost, almost leaving here. And my appreciation for life, and not just for life, but for the Lord, is through the roof, because you take nothing with you. And one of the things, you're dead longer than you are alive.
That's true.
You're dead longer than you are alive. So by you being alive and with life in your body, enjoy life, put God first, love on people, be there for people, the people that you love. Let me just say that when they're going through tragic situations, I'm gonna say tragic situations, and it just really depends on how close you are to the person. And like I said, I apparently not to be close to anybody, because nobody's haven't felt anything that I felt, because nobody have pulled up over here in 2 weeks. And I got a call here and there, and I was sitting around and praying and reading and waiting on other support calls to come in, or for you to, follow up with calls. Your doctor even follow up with you after you get out the hospital, or you have an appointment. Your doctor follows up with you to see how you're doing, even after the first call. And if somebody going through something and you call them one time, and and that's it, that's not good. You have to do follow-up calls, because they're not doing good, and they shouldn't have to call you, and they shouldn't have to worry about if you're going to call them. Because the reason why I'm saying this is this, because the person, if they're worrying about you calling them, means that they have feelings for you love this person, and you expect for them to call you, and you thought that it was more than what it was. And then when you don't get the call, or somebody calling to support you, you're like, wow, this person don't love me. They don't call me. Their day is the same, and things like that. And I think it's sad. I'm hurt. Once again, I really want to express my feelings. I'm hurt. I'm disappointed. But once again, like I said, I forgive everybody for whatever they've done, or what they know not what they did. And I think we can do better. Okay, we can do better.
Whether it's with you
Or
or either with someone else, or you know someone that knows someone that's going through, make sure you show up for them, reach out for them, support them mentally, physically, emotionally, embrace them. Let's stop taking folks for granted. That's what we need to stop doing.
right.
Stop taking folks for granted.
And I think one of the things, I want people to be um, have some courage. And when I say have some courage, means that if you know a person haven't did this, and you have not addressed that, you know, because of who they are or something, then it falls on you. Because if you for me, you're not gonna let somebody do me any kind of way, or you're not gonna address that. Because if I see something or something like that, I'm gonna address it to that person. Hey, look, you need to call so and so. Okay, you need to call them. You call them once, you need to call them again, and then we gonna go by there. You know, I'm gonna say something.
I think what a lot of people are doing too is waiting on someone else. Like, okay, I'm sure such and such can call them, so I'll wait and call them in a couple of days, and they forget because they're going on their everyday life.
Let me say this. Let me say this sincerely. You don't wait on nobody, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you the reason why you don't wait. Okay, my son did not wake up that morning. There was no wait. Whatever he had planned for that day, it didn't happen. So if you was waiting on the next day, it didn't happen. My daughter collapsed. It just died. There's not no next day. So if you're waiting on somebody, you may just keep waiting, because they may not be around. You cannot wait In this time in the world that we living in, there's no wait. Whatever you need to do, you need to do it. If you need to go and forgive somebody, if you need to go and show somebody some love, you do that. If you need to go help somebody out financially, you do that. Don't wait until they gone to give them flowers. You give it to them while they're here.
That's it. Give them flowers while they're here.
Because I think people nowadays, they get a tendency to like talking to the bodies versus the people that's living.
They say you're worth more dead than you're alive anyway.
You know, so talk to me while I'm alive.
Give you flowers while you're here.
Don't stand on me while I'm dead kissing me, because I won't feel it. Kiss me while I can feel it. So I just thought it was important. This here wasn't scheduled. I was really, in my feelings, and I just knew that this would help me, because I needed to express myself. I'm not angry or mad at anybody, but like I said, I'm just disappointed in,
And what you don't want is that people calling my phone asking me how you doing versus them calling you. You have family members calling me, checking on you, and you want to hear from them. You want them to call your phone.
Well, I'm not in a coma. I can.
Yeah, I'm just saying you want people to call your phone.
Absolutely. Well, mic check. I can hear you, and I can see you. So you could call my phone. You could show up for me. You ain't got to show up and call somebody else for me.
Third party calling.
I'm able to hear and see you and feel you. So let's just keep that in mind, and keep that in mind for other people also. Don't call somebody else for somebody else. You call them directly, because they're going to feel it when you call them. They're going to feel it when you call them and you tell them, hey, listen, I love you. You get better. And in a day or so, I'm going to call you and I'm pulling up on you. So just be prepared for me. Okay, just be prepared to see me, because I'm coming to make a brighter day for you.
And then that's good for people that's lost for words. Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to let you know I was thinking of you.
Absolutely.
It's hard to say how you doing, because if somebody asks you how you doing.
Well, like I said, this here is it's just me right at this point expressing myself on how I feel. I am really in a bad place, but God, I'm leaning on His understanding. He got me. He's keeping me upright, and but I'm not in a good place. I'm not in a good place, and love and support is very imperative at this point. The mental part of it, you're just all over the place. And I think the question that you had asked me about, like you said, if somebody was going through this, and you just can't die in the midst of it, because
die in the midst of what you're going through.
They want you to live. They don't want you to die in the midst of what you're going through, and they want you to be able to get through it. It's not going to be easy. Being strong is something that's thrown around. People say be strong. You can't be strong. There's no way to be strong in this. I can't be strong. I'm not strong. I'm weak. I'm very weak. She have to hold me up. I'm extremely weak. I'm devastated. I'm hurt. I'm emotional. I cry a lot. I be by myself a lot. It's lonely. Even when she come and comfort me, it helps. But then I go back into that place. But I go back on God's word. He said there's a time on this. And I don't know when the time is. But I think, in my opinion, the time is going to be where, I take my experiences and I let you guys know, so you guys can, not be able to go through what somebody else is going through. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you can learn from other people's mistakes and not do it, because I definitely don't want to, learn something the hard way, as they say. I want to be able to say, somebody tell me, hey, don't walk over that hole, go around it. And you just walk over it anyway and you fall in it. So
it's like, in your point right now, like you said as well, that when you did get the calls, right in the middle of the call, you counseling them on something they going through, and they supposed to been calling you. So you said you was called to serve.
Yeah. Well, sometimes if somebody, you going through whatever situation you may be going through in life, whether it's financial, you being sick, or you lost loved ones and things like that, and somebody call you, to check on you, and you actually end up counseling them in the midst of your stuff or what you going through. And it's so common with me. I'm always serving, even in the midst of what I'm going through. And I don't mind serving or helping people, even in the midst of what I'm going through. I just want people to know that I'm human too. I have a heart, I have feelings. I need love too. I need hugs. I need somebody to hold me, to tell me that it's going to be okay, you know, and to keep me, quote unquote, strong in the midst of this storm, But I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna get through this storm. Storms is made for you to go through them, not stay in them. And when I was talking about the grieving process, you have to get through it. You can't stay in it, and that's what storms are. They come and they go. You can't stay in it. So whatever the situation that you're going through, I want you guys to be able to process it, think about it, the emotion part. Don't take you being upset and things out on other people, because you're going to be extremely angry. So that's the reason why people get by themselves, because they're so angry and they don't want this to pour out on somebody else. So you don't want to take your anger out on other people. So that's why people get in a place by themselves, so they don't take things out on other people. And I've been by myself for a while. I've been angry and things like that. And like I said, I definitely didn't want to take nothing out on anybody, you know because this is mine, and I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to get through it. But I would hopes that somebody else, whoever watching, if you go through any situation um, like this or any similar situations, that you lean on God understanding and trust in Him. Have faith. Faith means that you can't see it. You believe in it, but you can't see it. That's what faith is. And I'm believing that I'm gonna get through this. That God's gonna get me through this, and it's a purpose in this, and it's a hard purpose.
Purpose in your pain.
And yeah, the pain is tremendous. The purpose in the pain is unbelievable. And I am the chosen one. So you will be seeing chosen one, chosen, and I'm gonna have a lot of content and things for you guys up and coming. This here wasn't scheduled. I'm still going through a process at this time. I just wanted to address some things that was on my mind and on my heart that was real heavy. And I hopes that, like I said, if anybody going through a similar situation, that you show up for the people. Don't just make one call or don't show up. Don't tell somebody that if you need anything, just call. And when you call for something, they're busy, unavailable.
Do you know I do not use that? I never tell somebody, if you need anything, call me. Because if I tell you that, I'm lying. A lot of people lying.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I tell people, and I'm getting ready to get out of here, your word is your bond. Okay. People rely on what you say, and they hold on to it. As far as like love, if you tell me you love me, I hold on to that. You can say I love you, so I hold on to that. Hey, so and so love me. So what you tell me, people hold on to it. So don't tell somebody something that's untrue. Okay. So when you tell somebody something, let it be true, even if they may not like it. Sometimes you tell somebody how you feel, they may not like it, and then you move on. Okay. But it's a way that you talk to somebody respectfully, but you move on. Okay. But like I said, this was for um, the people that's attached to me with DNA. Okay. I haven't seen nobody in 2 weeks since my son passed. I got one call The only person that showed up was my best friend. That's not good. Okay? I forgive you. I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it. This is chosen one chosen. Gone.